pray the Lord blesses you and your family and keeps you guys safe during the week. I just want to encourage anybody listening to this video to get plugged into a good Christian community if you can. And I'll give you 2 quick reasons why you want to do that, okay? The first reason, for protection. You see, we're all familiar with the slogan, divide and conquer, right? Classic war strategy. If I can cut you off from your resources, if I can separate you from your help, eventually you'll run out of strength, and then I'll be able to defeat you. So what that looks like is you're living life by yourself. Eventually you're gonna get tired, you're gonna run out of strength. And that's when the enemy comes in and they start to speak depression to you. They start to tell you you'll never be anything. They'll start to tell you you start projects all the time and you don't finish it, right? They'll start to bring up everything you've ever failed with. See, that's what happens when you live life by yourself. But when you're plugged into a community, when you run out of energy, you have somebody speaking life into you. You'll have a good friend beside you that'll say, no, you're more than a conqueror. You'll have a good friend beside you that says, you're the head and not the tail. You'll have somebody that will speak life into you before you ever faint. That's the benefit of being plugged into a good Christian community. So we have protection, you see, because 2 are better than 1. Because when you fall, you have somebody to help you get back up. So protection. Second, believe it or not, if you're not plugged into a good Christian community, you're cutting yourself off from your own blessings. How is that possible? What do you mean, my own blessings? You are blocking your own blessings and provision if you're not plugged into a good Christian community. Let me tell you what that looks like. Acts chapter 4, verse 33. Stay with me real quick. With great power, the apostles continued to testify to the resurrection of the Lord Jesus. And God's grace was so powerfully at work in them all that there were no needy person among them. Did you hear that? No needy person among them. But how did that happen? God's grace was at work among them all, among those in the church. Sometimes we want God to personally bless us himself. I need you to get off the throne and come and give me a blessing. We forget that God expresses his love through his children to each other. So what that looks like is, in our church we say all the time, you're carrying people's stuff. You are a blessing to somebody else through the grace of God. So what it looks like is, maybe you have money, but you don't have any food. Through the grace of God, you may be sharing your abundance of finances with those in the community. And then someone may have an abundance of food, but they may not have any money. So they come and they start sharing their food among the community, right? And eventually, the grace of God will be so at work in that community that you will see no one has a need for anything. God didn't come down and personally make each man a king in the book of Acts. What he did was his grace and mercy was so abundant among the whole church that they began to share everything they had in abundance, and they became a blessing to each other. So get plugged into a good Christian community. You'll have protection, you'll have safety, you'll have provision, you'll have love, and you won't have to do it by yourself. So this week, Group 52, I encourage everybody, get plugged into a good community. If you're not, find one. If you are, become more involved in it, and you'll see the world change. You'll see life around you change. And if you meet somebody that doesn't have a good community, introduce them to one. And you'll see life change for everybody around you. Have a blessed week, Group 52.